Let us continue playing Dragon Age Origins. When we last left off, we were back at camp having defeated the Soldiers' Peak missions. So now, we can actually begin going on with the main game, and we have some options in this regard. We can either go and deal with the Dalish Elves major quest, the Orzammar major quest, the Mage Tower major quest, or Redcliffe. And I think the way I'm going to do this is the way I usually end up starting things off, by going and doing the Mage's Tower. So that'll be our first destination. We'll pick up Wynne, who will be our secondary mage as well during that situation, and we'll see how things go from there. But first, random camp stuff.
Look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
Yes, there are clearly some wrong answers there. Very clearly some wrong answers. Oh dear.
Maybe, but that is not the point. The dirty mongrel can have this back, there, and tell him not to do it again.
You heard the lady.
I don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
That dog is too smart for his own good.
He is certainly manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
Indeed. Yeah, it doesn't actually increase or decrease anything there, but you know, it's a fun little scene and we had to be shown. I think there's interactions with most of the major cast, actually. So let's talk with Alistair.
Of course.
How did you become a Grey Warden?
Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten already, have you?
Very funny.
I do my best. What can I say? Let's see, I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills.
What skills might those be?
Well, it wasn't an easy life, you know. I don't know whether or not you've noticed, but I'm not exactly the Chantry type. The Grand Cleric didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did. I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky.
Why did the Grand Cleric want to keep you?
I wondered that myself. It's not as if she valued me highly. I think she just didn't want to give anything to the Grey Wardens, is all. The Chantry didn't lose much. And I think I can do more fighting the blight anyhow, rather than sitting in a temple somewhere. I'll always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have.
He was a good man.
He was.
There's a lot of hate Alistair
Good man
answers,
who didn't
you may have
deserve his
noticed.
fate. That much I'm sure of. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking.
It's fair enough. We only got a +1, but that's fine. Let's also talk to Leliana.
Yes? Something you need?
Let's talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Why did you decide to come to Ferelden?
My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
What happened to your mother?
Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother. Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dried flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andrastis Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on.
Now, more importantly than anything there, we've now been given the hint as to her scripted gift item. So if we ever find the Andraste's Grace, we know who to give it to. So unfortunately, no pluses or minuses, but we'll work on that in time. A lot of it we will get with gifts later, but you know, I like to go through the dialogue things.
I am hardly surprised.
I'm betting you have nothing again.
Well.
I'm fairly certain there will be no conversation add-ons until we actually get him to...
Then I suggest we move on.
Yeah.
As you wish.
So we're going to have to do some more actual actions that he approves of as we go. Let's have a chat with Shale. What do you expect golems to be different?
Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, Master, I exist to serve the Master. I shall kill for the Master and only for the Master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks, if it likes.
Are they dirty limericks?
Mostly they involve slaughtering pigeons in creative and invasive manners. I have never met another golem. I have no idea what one might be like, or why I wouldn't be like them. Why? Has it met other golems? Did they not sound as I do?
You seem very animated.
I don't know what other golems might be like, but I am already superior by virtue of my free will. This is a good thing.
Indeed it is. I agree, being a woman would be handy.
Imagine the benefits. No need to eat or sleep or perform other functions. Walk underwater, crush the heads of every opponent. The possibilities are limitless. Barring the occasional 30 years or so of paralysis, there's little to compare. Now stop talking so much. The wagging of its moist little tongue is distracting.
Shale approves +6 and has now actually gone up to now give minus strength. So we should also need to speak with Morrigan, but I think we will just go and quickly sell off some of our stuff here.
If there's anything I can do for you, please, please tell me.
Let's see your wares.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Okay, so we did pick up some less injury kits a little earlier. Stone Ember. Yeah, let's see what we have. What I'm considering here is just picking up a couple of high-level runes to put on my stuff, but I think I might wait a little bit on that. Golden Rope Necklace. I'm going to pick that up, actually. Because I'm fairly certain that will be a gift from Morrigan. Eventually, we will probably have to pick these up. I might go for the bad ones as well, just to see how it goes, but... Most fun of them all is the indestructible pigeon. But yeah, we can actually just cheat things if we want to and just buy a load of those. The uncrushable pigeon. Also, manual for Rangers and Templars, which we don't particularly need right in the moment. Right. So yeah, we still got some tier 2 stuff, so let's just get rid of all that. In fact, we might get rid of the tier 3 as well, just because we're clearly not using it. And we have a lot of inventory space. Chainmail, tier 2. Get rid of that. Should probably had a quick check around, but the other thing with these is I don't think we're going to use them. If we did, we'd go up to the heavy metal shield rather than that, so that's fine. We'll also sell off the lightning crystal, I suppose. Well, that might be helpful for mages. Studded leather. Get rid of those. Get rid of that. And the heavy infantry helmet, and that as well. We'll keep the tier 4 stuff on the basis we might eventually get some use for that. Should also probably pick the merchant belt up and just keep our money high. We got 25 gold, but as you can see, if I were to buy a set of runes here, it would cause me some issues. I do, however, have some stuff to sell. So, diamond, flora spear, and quartz. And then we have components. I can actually buy... I'm fairly certain we need an intermediary thing in order to get those, and there's no concentrated agent. Is that what I need? I think we'll pick up a few of these. And then we'll have to go at crafting some stuff in a little bit. Okay, with all that done, let's go and have a chat with Morrigan.
Yes?
So life in the wilds must have been very lonely.
At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
It sounds wonderful.
For a time, but one can only remain a child for so long. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. 'Twas encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
What happened then?
Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
Just another thing here. It is another one of her gifted scripted items. So you think she has two, actually. One I think we'll get in the Mage Tower, and I can't remember where we get the mirror from. But you were just a child.
And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
They made you stronger, didn't they?
They did indeed. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
We're actually getting a +9 for Morrigan for that one, so we actually played that quite well. What's she at? She's at 40. She's at +40, which is not bad. Liliana +47. Shale just above 25. So Sten's the one we're going to have problems with. I think we're going to have to find some things he likes. Actually, we're getting Alistair quite close to the 50, which obviously is another stat boost on top of where we've already gotten to. So, with that done, I suppose we should probably head off and go towards the Mage's Tower. So, I think part of the problem with doing the Mage Tower at this point is we're going to have to pick the party reasonably carefully. Obviously, Shale has opinions about mages, Alistair was a former Templar, and Morrigan, obviously, an apostate. So, I've actually no idea how this is going to go, but we're going to go for it anyway. Let's take along... Oh, we've got to take Sten.
Yes.
Have to take Sten, at least for the initial bit. We shall take Shale.
Yes.
So we have 2 heavy hitters. And we shall take... Should I take all the awkward characters for this? Yeah, we'll take Morrigan as well.
Indeed.
So these are all the people who are not likely to be well inclined towards this. Oh well. Let's go to the Galahad docks. I did want to go to Denerim, didn't I? Oh well, we'll leave that. We have an encounter. Just wolves. Occasionally you'll find encounters based on stuff you've done previously, but for now we're just going to... Actually, we'll attack these back ones first. Okay, the wolves have set traps. Quite how they've managed to do this is another matter, but still. The fact that they have is rather impressive. Okay. Where's the dog? Howl, please. Dread Howl, please. Good work. Yeah, lots of traps here. Alright, I'm just going to go and actually disarm these. For experience, I mean, we're fairly sure the rest can be dealt with, and if they actually were to fight, that would be awesome. But should not be a problem. Actually, Sten's in trouble again. Thankfully, Morrigan's done some healing, which is good.
I shall be as you say.
As you wish.
We spent a lot of combat not doing anything. Oh well. So Sten actually levels up from that, which is awesome, because he might be able to get his strength high enough to actually use some of Kaelin's equipment, which would be good. However, a little wolf pelts we're not going to object to.
Look there, a cunning trap.
A lot of experience points for these as well.
It's a trap.
Okay, so Sten was the only one to level from that. So he's still quite a way away, but we're going to bump his strength by 2, and I think we'll up his dexterity by a point as well, possibly give him a little more evasion. Okay. I think we're going to give him survival and just build up his nature resistance a little bit. It'll be helpful if we've got a high nature resistance on characters by the time we get that far. Meanwhile, let's see what we've got available. Two-handed strength. So, reducing penalties to attack and defense from powerful swings. Shattering blows. Gains damage against the golems and constructs. We don't need just yet. So, we're going to go and take the two-handed strength. And also pick up another wolf belt. Okay. So, with that done. Read the sign. Wolves frequent this area, as do traps. Traps laid for wolves. Yep. Well, that was rather good timing on our part, wasn't it? We were ambushed by wolves, and we'd walked into the area where the traps for the wolves were. So, the docks.
I take it we are here to see the mages? Lovely.
It has begun.
We are here to see the Mage's Shale. I'm sure you'll be happy to see what has happened to them. If only because it will be so amusing. I actually don't know what... I think his approval is just going to go down the moment we decide to not let the Templars kill them, if we decide to do that.
You're the Grey Warden, aren't you? Exactly who I was hoping to meet. I represent a collective of mages interested in going about their lives without the constant scrutiny of the Chantry.
Tell me more.
The collective is a self-policing guild of mages who simply want to be left alone. We mean no offense to the Chantry, but we would rather live on our own terms. Next to me, and in every major settlement, you will find an inconspicuous sack containing requests from mages all over the land who need the assistance of someone skillful and discreet.
I'm discreet. I'm not, but still. I'll have a look at these requests.
Thank you, my friend. We have agents in every major settlement to reward you for work done on behalf of the collective.
We're always happy to do
Make us
extra
smile
quests.
upon you.
So the Mages Collective now happens, and we can have a look at these. Okay, there's a lot of things here. I'm just going to accept them all. And then we'll go and detail these as and when it comes up. Give me 10 bundles of deep mushrooms.
The Mages Collective thanks you. Make us smile upon you.
So I think we've done 1 or 2 of them. Yeah, that was the herbal magic, so we did that one. Current quests. So, Major Side of Power, the Brazilian Forest, the Deep Roads, Denerim, the Circle Tower. So we haven't actually done that one yet. Track down a small group of adventurers. 2 in Denerim. The other is procuring a slightly rarer item in Orzammar. Okay.
Why, bless myself. What's a distinguished personage like yourself doing here?
I was looking to get across the lake to the tower.
Don't hold your breath. No one's been allowed across the lake for days. I'm the ferryman. Leastwise, I used to be. Poor old Kester. Out of a job.
So I can't get across.
Gregor just came down and said, "Don't you worry, Kester. We got it all under control, we do." Didn't say nothing else. And then he puts Carol in charge of my boat. Lissy. Named for my grandmum, she was.
Who is Gregor?
He's Knight Commander of the Templars up in the tower. Good man.
So no way for me to get to the tower?
You could try swimming, but I don't recommend it. Nasty things in that lake. I reckon it's all them potions they dump in there. Gregor's told me to stay here till it blows over, but I'm telling you, some storms don't blow over easy.
I could convince the Templars to let me in.
Maybe you could at that. I'm sure your mind's all afire now, eh?
What are your opinions on the circle?
I reckon it's good for them mages. Gather them all, learn them some proper magics. I know what they say about mages, but the Maker made them for a purpose. If you can't trust him, who can you trust?
So you know the Knight Commander Gregor well?
Oh, I can't say that. I'm lucky he's good enough to give me the time of day. The first enchanter's all right. He's polite as can be, but he's always a little distant, if you get my drift. But Gregor'll stay to talk. I reckon he likes hearing from us common folk, you know? He's a man to be respected, that Gregor. All right. Keep safe, you hear?
So I get some interesting info from that. Let's just see what else we got around here. So we've got a shady fug. Oh, we definitely want to speak to the shady fugs. But first, let's go and actually... Hold on, is this going to be the... Oh, also landmark boats. This we need. Abari dominance.
I could just walk along the lake bottom to reach the tower. It, however, could not.
Slayer. Landmark. Okay, so Mabari dominance is now active. Next, we're going to talk to you, and I think this is one of my other quests from the Blackstone Irregulars.
You have some kind of problem?
Yep.
Oh? What was this about?
You stole... I'm here to bring you in for desertion.
I worried this might happen. I hoped it wouldn't be you who came for me. I have no choice. Forgive me, Warden, but I cannot go back with you.
Alright, well, we gave him a half chance to kill him. Once we kill his bugs. Next we kill this one. Level up for Shale and attack.
Very well.
Slight overkill there, Shale. Slight overkill. Okay, so we gain the supplies. I don't even know where we can drop them off, really. Well, we'll see. I think the next step is we want to go and level up Shale, don't we? So Shale can go up to 30 Constitution and will increase his strength. And Killing Blow connects automatic critical hits, but Shale's remaining stamina is drained. Greater damage bonus whenever Pulverizing Blows is on. I didn't have Pulverizing Blows on by default. So, okay. So there we go. Next up, let's enter. Surely nothing bad can happen to us in a pub. In fact, actually, so far, in all the pubs we've entered, bad things have happened every single time. Disgruntled Patron, Shady Patron, and the chest. This is the... Actually, no, we'll just open the chest. What bad things could happen from us doing this? We've actually gained some... I'll do those later, but yeah, interesting. So we will deal with the rest of this in a little bit. I'm going to call that a video. Next time we shall enter and see if we can find our way into the tower. Until then.